Alright, so this is a little short video showing different folding knives because we have different styles of folding knives with different locking mechanisms on all of them. There's a plethora of different styles of knives here on the table. These aren't necessarily high dollar, they're not cheap. Some of them are, some of them aren't. This is a knife made, I don't know, probably in the 80s. If you notice, it has the little fingernail groove there. It's a cheap knife. It's back before assisted opening was, I don't know if you can see that. It's called a lock back. The lock is on the back of the knife. You've got two different styles. That's one where the lock is in actually the back of the knife. It's a cheap piece of junk, but it's still a knife. That's also a lock back. It's made by Gerber. I keep it in my pocket. I carry it every day. The lock is towards the rear. Then you have this. This is a folding knife. Good old Schrade Oldtimer. The good 3-blade type. 3 different blades for whatever you want to do. Get those out of the way. I carry this every day. My father actually bought this one and the one that he carried before he left us. He bought both of them, and it's, you know, lifetime warranted. I'm missing a little piece there. I could send it back to them, they could fix it, but you know what? I like it just like that. Folding knife. This is basically, you can get a Swiss Army knife, but this is actually made by Columbia. The blade, I didn't hit my fingers, is really sharp. Comes that way. It's stainless. It had pretty much everything you would need. It's basically just like a Swiss Army knife. It has scissors, it has bottle openers, it has, well, you see the corkscrew there, can opener, scissors. It has a fish scaler and screwdrivers, leather punches, everything else. Got it off camera, sorry. It's quality. It's made out of aluminum. It's all metal, so you don't have any plastic worries. I actually prefer this over, I have a Swiss Army knife. I don't have it with me right now as I'm making this video. But I prefer this one over my Swiss Army knife just because it's all metal. I don't have to worry about it failing. It's a good quality little thing to keep in your kit. Another type of folder. Has a little thing here. This is actually a based on the World War II paratrooper knife. The Germans actually made this and made it popular. Blades very sharp, but it actually folds down into itself. It's still a type of folding knife. Another folding knife, Gerber. Gerber is pretty good knife making company. It's got the skeletonized handle scales or frame. Good pocket clip. Gerber has kind of deteriorated in quality in the past couple of years, and I'll show you exactly why. This is a frame lock. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see where I've over torqued this blade and the frame has bent. So this knife is dangerous. I do not use it anymore. It's more for I just don't want to get rid of it, pretty much. But that is a frame lock design because the locking mechanism is actually part of the frame. So it's not like sorry, and I hope I do not cut myself. Like I said, I'll just pat it off. We've got a couple of different lock designs. This right here is a liner lock, and you can see that it's kind of part of the frame, but it's actually inside the handle scales, so it's a liner lock. This is it's actually a decent knife. I like it. It's got a good, I don't know why you want to put your pinky finger in there or not, but you can if you choose to do so. It's a good beefy knife. I like heavy knives for some odd reason. Assisted open buck knife, good pocket knife with clip. This one has been a little modified because the tip actually broke off. Because when you're buying a knife for carry, clip on your pocket, you actually have to, what's it going to be used for? Is it going to be used for opening envelopes, cutting tape off of packages? Knife like this, it's got a little safety there so it doesn't automatically open in your pocket. I do have my spring tension. You can adjust it here. Adjust it so it doesn't just flip open. You've actually got to use that thumb stud to open it with your finger. You can go out and you can get a Benchmade or Kershaw or a Spyderco, and those are all great knives. They are moderately expensive, but my wife picked this up for me. It came 2 in a set. The other one's inside in a drawer somewhere probably, but it was this one, a little smaller one. I like it. It's not assisted open. It's got a good thumb stud on it. Got a good clip, but it's heavy. If you can see that, it's got a heavy feel to it. I mean, it's got some weight to it. And the industry I work in, I'm cutting 3/8 plastic banding. It's like if you go to your local store that sells wood, like 2x4s and 2x6s, stuff like that. They're going to use 3/8 plastic banding 90% of the time. This is what I use every day to cut that banding, and it's a liner lock because it's not considered a frame lock because the frame isn't used to lock the blade in. So we have a couple of examples. You have the liner lock. This actually is a liner lock because this little piece clicks over when the blade is extended, so you got to push that over to get the blade to reset. It's an assisted opening knife. It's very well made. I love it. Right now I'm not carrying it. Then you've got frame lock, Mr. Dangerous, because it's tweaked and I can't even get it to go back to normal. There we go. Frame locks are okay. You just got to make sure that the quality's there. Like I said, Gerber is a high quality brand, but you got to kind of be careful with any brand that you buy. Then you have no lock whatsoever. Everything just kind of flips out and then it flips back closed. Then you have this. I like it just, you know, for what it is. Nice blade. Not really good for anything but stabbing something. I wouldn't try to cut rope or anything else with it, cordage, whatever. But that's really what you got to ask yourself. And it's tweaked again. When buying a knife that you're going to carry every day on your pocket, what are you going to be using it for? If you're going to just be using it for cutting tape, opening envelopes, then all of these would be great. If you are going to be cutting rope, that one's not going to be worth a crap. This one, if it wasn't tweaked, and this isn't a manufacturing thing, I don't believe. I think I just basically overworked the knife, which you can do. It's got the good serrated, partially serrated blade on it, so you can cut cordage a little bit easier. A seat belt if you have to. I just basically overworked it, so it tweaked the frame and just, you know, is done. This right here, good utilitarian knife. It does everything that I ask it to. It's got a good weight in my hands, which I like. I don't like a lightweight knife. Out of the two, this one weighs less. I still do like this knife just because it's assisted, and like I said, I can adjust that. So when I hit that button, it pops all the way open. I don't prefer that. If I need to open it, a little bit of a wrist slap will open it all the way. But it's liner locks, and for some odd reason I just happen to like liner locks better than frame locks. Lockbacks like this, this knife is, like I said, cheap for one. For two, it was made, I don't know, in the early 80s maybe. What happens is the lock, as you're opening them, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got two things that kind of hold together, and they kind of click, and what happens after you open them so many times, that kind of wears down, and when it does, it's most likely at the most inopportune moments. These will cut your fingers in a hurry. They look pretty, but that's pretty much it. It's not the best locking system for a folding knife. If you want a good locking system, go with a frame lock or a liner. And nowadays, you can't find any knives other than a liner lock knife. I remember when knives didn't even have thumb studs on them to open. That was many moons ago. But that's just the different types of folding knives.